Hello, hiya. Um, Remember, I don't know if you were tuned in before, but I was saying that I was going to visit Charlie Poulsen and his partner Pauline, both really wonderful artists, and I've just spent the afternoon with them, and they've really helped me. To in just the discussions that we had, and also they gave me these beautiful flowers that were growing in their gardens, Ammonites, I think. Um, And one of the things that I came away with was to just give myself some kind of simple guidelines around what I'm going to do. So my decision around this evening is that I'm going to do something in response to these flowers, and I'm going to play with some mark making. They're my two things that I've set myself up to do this evening. We were just talking about the creative process, and all the different things involved really in it, and it caused me to. I just feel really inspired actually after being with them. Their home is a beautiful space, and they've got their studios there and do incredible work. So it's all very inspiring. I'm just using simple materials here. I wanted to bring colour in, so I'm using some crayons. I didn't go to the studio to get my paints or anything, but I'm just finding something of the colours first anyway. They're staying nice and fresh. I didn't anticipate that they would be so fresh. I thought they might droop, but the flowers are staying good and lively. So I'm just, without any agenda, just investigating these. They were quite arresting there out in their garden, at this time of year. It's such a surprise to see any colour. I saw too that they had some Japanese anemones. No, I think it is a Japanese anemone, yeah. Is it? Jasmine, winter jasmine. I didn't say it to them, but I saw that too flowering in their garden, and we used to have that in our old house, and it was one of the very first things to flower, and I remember being so heartened by it in January when it would start flowering around our front door. We no longer live in that house, of course, and moved on, but it was lovely to see it flowering there today as well. But this has got such a lovely shape, and is really pleasing to investigate. I like the darks that I'm seeing. I wasn't sure how it would be, now that the natural light is gone, but maybe tomorrow I can set myself up to do a bit of drawing in the studio, or even possibly a little painting, we'll see, in response to these flowers again. I find that I'm not wanting to pin myself down too firmly. I think that's one of the things that we all agreed on today, was that that in order to keep ourselves interested and alive to potential, alive to what's possible, it seems really important to not be focused, too firmly focused at the outset of a new phase. This yellow is very clear. I mean, the thing about these flowers is the sharp, bright yellow that they are. So I'll be able to access brighter colours tomorrow. So it's fine. It's actually kind of good if there's something that is left undone. I was talking about using my left hand to draw with, and how I find it really helpful. But here I feel like there's enough to grapple with already, so I'm not going to force myself to do that too on top of everything else. Although I suppose it would mean that you could see more clearly what I'm up to. Ideally, now I would like some ink with a stick dipped in it to do a bit more clarifying in the flowers and the leaves. Either that, or let's see, I've got these coloured pencils. There's a black one here that might be more satisfying than the ordinary pencil. And it's a very thin line, but it's maybe more like it's carving rather than drawing a mark. It's very, very hard. So I'm going to see if I can find me little jar of ink. This is a dangerous thing to be playing around with in this tidy house. Oh my goodness, I can't open it. No. Okay, so plan B, I'm going to go and get my acrylic, a black acrylic pen that I was using. If you were watching yesterday, you'll know that I was using that. Actually, I got the white one as well, which might be a nice one. Because this paper isn't exactly white, it's not completely white. So, the cup that these flowers are sitting in could be described with the white ink in places. But of course to be honest, the ink is running out in it as well, so it's kind of a bit dilute, I think. I kind of like it that way though. Okay, now what next? I was going to try and find a black chalk pen. I think this is it. Let's give this a go. I mean, black seems a bit severe, but I think maybe the shadows can take it. And I was fairly loose with the colour, the application of colour, and the petals are all crying out for some bit of definition, I think. At least I want to investigate. I'm curious about the shape of this flower, and I want to give time to investigating its form a bit more, and the black pen is allowing me to do that. So I just keep going with it. Yeah, I'll just keep going with it. Okay. And the other thing I was going to do was some mark making. I might even just use the ball of soil that I've got, you know. I have some other ideas as well, but I can start, I can go into that tomorrow as well. And at least once I make a start on what it is that I said I would do, then I can give myself permission to stop and have my dinner. Okay, maybe do a bit more later on again. Just wondering if there's opportunity for a touch of something more. I like these acrylic pens for just a touch of highlight or something. When they work fluidly, especially, they're easy to use. But I like to not have too tight a grip on them because, of course, like anything, you could become reliant on. You could become fierce into getting all the detail. I don't know if that's added anything really. I think maybe it's a good idea to stop there. I can continue tomorrow, and maybe I'll find some more colours. What I was going to do before saying goodbye to the art now is I was actually going to see if I could find a green that reads as the leaves a little bit more, so that I could fill them in a little bit more. That dark green. It doesn't matter, it's just to illustrate it anyway. Maybe even change direction and do just one single one of that, maybe with my biro this time, of this flower that's just turned towards me now. Of course, you won't be able to see it in the same at the same angle as I am, but there's something quite pleasing about that flower just opening up. I took 2 of them when they were in bud form. So what's happening now is that they've opened up in the warmth in here, and I'm wanting to do a second one because maybe in the morning they won't still be so lively looking. We'll see. I suppose my hand is kind of covering things because the camera is over on this side of the iPad. Just to get something anyway explained of the leaves and flowers as they meet each other. I feel I feel a kind of optimism about everything, knowing that there's nothing wrong with not knowing. Now that I've had the chat with a couple of other artists who honour that process, I feel like it's okay. I don't have to know. In fact, it's good not to know. The random start, the chaos from which order can evolve is a normal thing. In fact, it's a necessary part of it all. So there comes with that conversation a huge amount of ease and relief and acceptance of my own process, whatever it is in this moment, knowing that every time it's kind of different, really. There's no formula. So that's all. And therein lies peace, at least for the moment. Now that I'm creating something, I'm moving, and not applying a heavy pressure on myself to seek perfection here, but just to let myself explore. This is it. And I suppose, isn't this kind of why we're here, in the world at all, is to kind of explore and experiment and play and find what it is for us in our skin that makes us fully live. Something like that. I'll put in something to describe the cup there too. And there's a foreshortened leaf coming towards me. Okay, and do you know what I've got here now? And I might as well use it while it's sitting there. It's the watercolour. My watercolours that I used for the tree this morning. That's a lot of green. Seems to be the right colour though. I'll never be able to get the clean yellow out of it, but I think it's enough even just to explain the green anyway for now. And the water will go wherever the pigment will go wherever the water is, so I'm just placing the water down in the shape of the leaves as best I can. Yeah, again, it's fairly crude, but just to have something to just find a way in. Feels like the significant thing here, really. It's probably not the best thing for the poor plant to be dipping the paintbrush into the water that it sits in. Trying to get some yellow there, but sure it's not going to be yellow. No, so I'll just leave that now, and tomorrow or later on I might use some collage to describe the yellow flowers. So, do you know what, now I go around and say goodbye to you, around the other side of the table. Yeah, I can see the flowers as I'm looking at you. So, yeah, so that was just with the pen, and this one was with the pen and the, what was that one I was looking at? The pen and watercolour green. And then that one was the first little attempt at it. Looking at it like that. And that's acrylic pen and crayon. And there's black acrylic pen as well, of course. And yellow acrylic pen. So there we have it. Thanks for being here. I'll carry on my mark making later on. Okay, bye. Cheers. Aren't they gorgeous though? I love them.